Good morning, friends. Welcome to the new exciting project. This is a light following robot. So the components required are on the screen. In this, we are going to require two battery operated motors. As you can see them in yellow, these are two battery operated motors. Then we are going to require two NPN transistors. So there are two NPN transistors and two LDR. These are light detecting resistors. LDR. These are light detecting resistors. Now these resistors, they produce resistance and the value depends upon the intensity of light. So depending upon the intensity of the light, the resistance changes. That is how they function. Now this is a light following robot. So it's a circuit diagram of a light following robot. You can't see the entire robot in this. You can see the working principle, and then this can be attached on a chassis and can be utilized as a light following robot. Now let us see the connections. As we know that transistor has three terminals: collector, base and emitter. Now collector is connected to one end of the motor. You can see here collector is connected to one end of the motor. Now motor is a passive device. It doesn't have a positive or negative. It can rotate in any given direction. So you can connect to any terminal. So I have connected to black terminal. So the wire color I have chosen is black. Now similarly here on this transistor also. So on both the ends the connections are similar. Collector at one end of the motor. Emitter is connected to the negative rail. You can see it's connected to negative rail. This is the power source, a 9-volt battery. From 9-volt battery, this is the negative connection terminal and this is the positive terminal. So this entire rail becomes negative, whereas this entire rail becomes positive. Up till now you must be familiar with the breadboard. So the emitter end of the transistor is connected to negative terminal. Similarly here also. So collector to one end of the motor and emitter to negative rail. Now let us connect the base. Now base of the transistor is connected to one end of the LDR. LDR is light detecting resistor. So base is connected to one end of the LDR. You can see all these holes are connected in parallel. So one end of the LDR, whereas the other end of the LDR is connected to positive. So you can see the connection like this. Base from this wire is connected to one end of the LDR and the other end is connected to the positive of the battery. Now similarly here also in this case, base of a transistor is connected to one end of the LDR and the other end of the LDR is connected to positive of the battery. So I hope the connections are pretty simple. They are easily visible on your screen. You can follow them at your end and make the connections. Now this robot is going to follow light. So what is it going to happen? Robot has two wheels or three wheels depending upon that. So the wheel which will receive more light, which will have more light intensity, so that wheel should rotate and the speed of the wheel will increase or decrease depending upon the light intensity. So I'll show you by simulation here in Tinkercad. So let us start the simulation. Okay. Now right now you can see both the motors are running at 10 RPM. RPM means rotations per minute. So both the motors are running at same speed. Imagine, you just have to imagine that these motors are attached with wheels here. Okay, so there is a robot which has two wheels here, at one at the left and one at the right, and it is moving ahead. Now let us try to change the intensity of the light. So I am clicking on one of the LDR light detecting resistor and I am changing the intensity of the light. You observe what happens to the speed of the motor. So I am increasing the intensity. Can you see what has happened? The moment I increase the intensity, you can see that the RPM of this motor has increased. Now if you remember the circuit, this particular LDR is connected to this side motor. You can see here. So when you increase the light intensity on this side, on the left hand side LDR, this speed of the motor has increased. So what will happen, as right side motor is increasing, rotating with higher speed, and left side motor is rotating with lower speed, this entire robot is going to turn towards left. So we have provided a light source on left hand side, so the robot will turn towards left. Okay, now I'll reduce the intensity here and I'll increase the intensity of this LDR. So it's a very simulative based software you can use at your end in Tinkercad. So I'll increase this intensity. Now see what has happened here. Now this LDR is on maximum intensity of light. So you can see the left hand side motor is rotating with higher RPM and right hand side motor is rotating with lower RPM. So when the intensity on the right LDR with intensity of light will be falling on the right LDR, the left side motor will increase its speed, causing the robot to turn towards right. So I hope you understood the circuit. So this is a light following robot when you actually put it on the chassis. So what will happen when wherever you if you put a torch light on the right LDR, the robot will move towards right. Similarly, if you put a torch or light on left LDR, the robot will turn towards left. That's the reason this is a simple light following robot. You can follow the circuit diagram here on the screen. I'll show you the working one more time. I've increased both the speeds. So if I provide light to both the LDRs, the robot will start moving fast in straight line with same RPM. Now if I reduce one light source, now see, I've reduced this light source. So my robot on the left hand side LDR, I don't have any light. So whatever light source is present is on right hand side LDR. So you can see my left hand side motor rotating with higher speed. So my robot is going to turn towards right. And if I reduce this also, you can see now both the LDRs doesn't have any light intensity. So my robot is going to travel straight. So this is a simple circuit for light following robot. I hope you like this circuit. The components used are very easy. Transistor and LDR, two battery operated motors and one 9-volt battery. I hope you liked it. I will put the connections in the chat box if you want for your reference. Please like, subscribe and share my channel. Thanks for your time. Have a great day. Thank you.